Okay, next motion is from Councillor Harkin and Councillor O'Neill.
I want to commend Aegis for initiating the Derry Call Centre Campaign. As we know, there are many people now who are working in call centres in Derry and across the district. Many workers are now dependent on call centres for employment, and that's why it's been termed by some as the new shirt factories. This campaign is about giving workers in the call centres the opportunity to join trade unions and to gain a collective voice so that they can attempt to improve their pay and improve their collective rights. And that's at the core of this. And I think it's a great campaign, and I hope it succeeds. Thank you.
Okay, Councillor Heaney.
Thank you, Mayor, for letting me in. It's just to say that Sinn Fein will be supporting this motion, and thank Councillor Harkin and O'Neill for bringing it. Call centre workers do a very difficult job and are quite usually very relatively low paid. Every worker has a right to be a member of a union if they so wish to be. So we have no difficulty supporting this motion. Thanks, Mayor.
Okay, Councillor McKinney.
Thank you, Mayor, for letting me in. We will be supporting this motion, but I would like to ask Sean just how our negotiations going between the trade union and the employers. Thank you.
Okay, maybe I'm summing up. Councillor Tierney.
Thank you, Mayor, and thanks to Councillor Harkin and O'Neill for bringing this motion. I've been watching online the campaign, and I think it's a very good and powerful move, particularly whenever you do consider, if we are considering call centres to be the new shirt factories, I do think it's important that every worker has access to trade union representation. I previously, before coming on the council, worked in a call centre, and at that time, I don't know if it's changed, but at that time it was very much our way or no way, and that's the way it was. Call centre workers, and Councillor Heaney touched on it there, and being there, do a very difficult job, and sometimes get the raft of very frustrated customers. And I'm not joking, whenever I was there, you hang up the phone and within seconds, you're back on another call, probably someone even more irate than the last person, and you hang up that call and it's someone else and someone else. It's relentless work. And the wages that they get paid for it aren't enough by any stretch of the imagination. The way that they could, in my opinion, be treated better. There could be allowances for more breaks and things, longer breaks between calls and things like that, which would improve their daily working life. So we fully support the campaign. I look forward to it ticking off. I know it's started, but ticking off properly. So it's something that we can all get behind. There are countless people across this district who either have or continue to work in call centres, and we must be showing our support by supporting them to get trade union recognition within them. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Doyle.
Thank you, Mayor, and like Councillor Tierney, there was a time I worked in a call centre, and when I read the language in the motion referring to shirt factories, I actually thought it was more like battery hens. I have to say that whenever my experience of working in that environment was that it was not just against the backdrop of being against workers' rights, it was downright oppressive. Timing people going to the toilet like you were in primary school, timing down to the very last second, as Brian had said, between calls, which can be very draining. Sometimes most people I think are doing 10, 11 hour shifts. And the environment, and again, I agree with Brian, was our way or no way. We don't like it. There's a big door out there where you go, and no provision whatsoever for engaging with staff in any meaningful way. I don't know what the situation is of late, but certainly from some constituents that contacted me about a year and a half ago. There are some organisations in the city who operate call centres, and it is simply a revolving door. It is, basically one strike and you're out, and there's no give whatsoever in terms of workers' rights. And the only way to address that is by collectivism within the workplace. So Aontu has no problem at all supporting the motion going forward. Thank you.
Alderman Hussey.
Thank you, Mayor. Happy to support the proposal, but would ask Councillor Harkin with regard to the presentation. I hinted at it earlier on. With regard to that presentation, would Councillor Harkin be minded that that would be to a special council meeting, maybe bundled with other presentations, as opposed to bringing a presentation into a committee or that nature? In other words, that it would be available to all council members rather than, funneling it through a committee. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman Hussey. Councillor Neil, are you looking to speak on the motion? No. Okay. I have no further speakers, so Councillor Harkin, I'm going to go back to you to sum up.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, everybody, for getting behind the campaign. I think that the Derry Call Centre campaign will appreciate it, and I think it's helpful that councillors have spoken about their own personal experience dealing with call centres, because I think that reflects the way the call centres still are, and that's why I think that gaining a collective voice will be welcomed. I think many workers have wanted a collective voice in the past, but the employers and maybe the political environment made it difficult for them to see that through. I think that those things are changing now. I think people are gaining more confidence. In terms of Councillor McKinney's question about how it's going between the employer, I think that would be for the Aegis representatives to speak to. And I think, look, if any councillor or alderman wants to get in touch for the campaign, they will be more than happy to meet with you and talk about what they're trying to do and how you or your party could back the campaign and encourage people to join. I think that the campaign, as I would imagine most campaigns in response to Alderman Hussey, will be happy to get whatever kind of platform here to come in and tell people about what they're doing and ask for support. So, I think that hopefully this discussion will put a spotlight in the campaign. If people don't know that it's happening, they'll find out about it. I know the campaign's doing great work already in terms of making inroads, but they've a lot of work ahead of them, and a lot of organising and a lot of discussions will need to happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Harkin. That is another motion that has been passed unanimously.